Welcome back to the Scruffy City Beat. We're doing something a little bit different this episode. It's a bit more of a chapter story. So I'm looking at where all the artistic energy at UTK goes. What do artists do to play shows, and what do students do when they want to attend shows that aren't too expensive? So I'll be talking with 3 different sets of people to try to figure that out. And another programming note, this podcast is still available on YouTube, WBIR.com, and the TV app, the WBIR TV app. And we are looking to make it available on audio platforms soon. Without further ado, here is episode 4 of the Scruffy City Beat. Welcome back to the Scruffy City Beat. I am sitting here with 2 people who report on music as it currently is. I'm sitting here with Jared and Will. Can y'all introduce yourselves to me real quick?
Hey there, I'm Will O'Brien. I'm a music reporter for Blank News here in Knoxville and a recent graduate of UT.
Wow.
You don't whoop, do you? You don't whoop for
Whoop,
UT. Whoop.
And I'm Jared. I run the Knoxville Ooze, a local resource for stuff and things.
Stuff and things.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt's in the corner also doing stuff and things. Hello, Matt. So what we want to talk about is if you're a student at UT and you're an artist, you want to make music, where do you go? Where are the places to attend cheap shows and play shows with a low barrier to entry? And I feel like you guys are the 2 that can tell me about it.
I think as far as the attending side goes, it's very transitory, I guess you could say, as Knoxville is as a whole right now, especially, and on campus for sure. But there's always going to be the house shows, whatever you may have it in Fort Sanders or something like that. Even on campus, you got Yacht Club, or I know plenty of bands that played over at Leaderboard or stuff like that, really on campus, Cumberland Avenue wise. But there's even, places like the Commune and stuff like that. Plenty of DIY kind of shows. I think there's a really great smaller end DIY scene here in Knoxville that's very passionate, and the players that are in there are really trying to keep it going week by week, and it's a really great thing to see. But I think it's definitely a conquest on a personal level to try to find places to even see music, much less play it. But it's such a passionate but small but ever growing kind of scene here in Knoxville, music wise, for young musicians for sure.
Yeah, Jared, what venues in and around campus pop up on your calendar? Do you see shows at Leaderboard, Yacht Club?
Yeah, so obviously the Strip is nothing anywhere close to what it used to be. And even the Yacht Club doesn't do that many shows, mostly EDM stuff nowadays. They do occasional shows, but it's not like, the people's taste and things change and stuff like that. So nowadays, on the Strip you have Leaderboard, but they don't really, they kind of focus a lot more on like certain types of cover bands and stuff like that. So they don't really play that many college bands. The venues that really do play a lot of college bands, like Preservation Pub is starting to do a lot of that. By the time this airs, it'll be over. But last night they had 3 sort of like young college bands playing.
Oh, nice.
Obviously, there's a 21 and up venue though, which is limit things. But I think to your point about the DIY thing, like people always will find a place to play. And encouraging that and finding more things is good. So, like, the Carnes Community Centers have been great to local bands.
I've seen that pop up. What's that venue like? In my mind, a community center is like a dining hall. Is it like that?
Yeah, basically, yes.
Okay.
It's not the most flattering lighting or the flattering space, but it's a space for kids to play.
Yeah, spot to play.
Kids and adults, but like a place for independent bands to go that's affordable for them to rent it out, and it can accommodate a lot of people. In all ages as well, too, which is an important thing. And then beyond that, you have, like, the Birdhouse is really friendly. And the Birdhouse will host just about anything, which is great. And
It is a pay-to-play space, though.
Yes, yeah, which most places
of the time.
Yeah, in Carnes Community College, most places that are like that are these DIY places. And there's some other ones that pop up every now and then, like French Fried Vintage occasionally host shows in there. And then you also have other, Print Shop has like a warehouse behind them, which is also pay to pay, but it is a good space. And the Barrel House, and I got on here. I've got Sunspot has a show, which is interesting.
Hey, oh yeah, Sunspot on the Strip.
Yeah, they've got a metal show in June.
The Laurel Theater does shows with. I've always seen some big student discounts for the shows they do. So there's some smaller cost shows. But it does seem like there's an itch for more of a weirdo spot. It seems like there is an opening for that. Would y'all say that's true? There's a bit of an itch for it?
Yes. I
Oh,
mean,
definitely.
obviously the major issue is with the way that the strip has been redeveloped, and you have a lot of these bigger, more commercial, out of state owners that own these places. The interest is not so much in these types of things, and the lease rates are crazy. And Knoxville has a lot of, basically only has like no net leases. So if you're leasing a space, you have to pay all the taxes and all stuff like that, where a lot of the cities have a lot more variety in their commercial leases. So here the onus is really you have to have some money to open up something on the strip or throughout downtown, which is what kicks a lot of these places out.
Yeah. Will, what's your experience at UT been of just the creative energy people have, like people wanting to put new projects together?
I think one word I could describe it as far as the talent goes is overflowing. I think, to your point, there's a lot of hungry artists and bands here in town that are looking for that weirdo spot and place that, you might knock a lamp over or something or spill a PBR, but it's not going to be the end of the day or something like that, compared to a big music hall or something like that. But there's so much talent here in Knoxville that are just yearning for a place to be. It could be under a bridge or in a beautiful hall or something like that, but nonetheless they're starving for some place to play music.
Coming up, I have a conversation with a historian who wrote a 40-year retrospective on the Cumberland Avenue Strip and what it looked like from 1960 to 2003. And then after that, we're going to talk with the person who runs the Commune, which is a modern venue providing a place for new and upcoming bands to play. Stay tuned.
The beat.
Welcome back to The Beat. This episode is all about UT's music scene, specifically the Cumberland Avenue Strip and what's been happening there. And I kind of have the expert on the Cumberland Avenue Strip, if you'd call yourself that. This is Jack Renfro. Hi, Jack.
Hello, Jillian.
Welcome to the WBIR newsroom. And behind him, Daniel, over his shoulder. Hello. So this book, I literally can't even believe this exists whenever Russ Harper gave it to me. I can't even believe it. This book is a 40-year retrospective on the Cumberland Avenue Strip from 1960 to the end of the 90s. Came out in 2003, this book.
Yeah, right up to the turn of the millennium. Yeah. In fact, I think I went out literally like deadline week and tried to catch some bands that were
write
new
about 'em?
so I could get that little postscript about here's what's coming on over the horizon, and got to include a couple of, some of it lasted and some of it didn't, but the point was to try to get as much as possible into the picture. But yeah,
43 years of the Cumberland Avenue Strip.
43 years.
It's an amazing collection. You brought in a copy, which I just want to say, I hear you only printed 120 originally. Is that the right number? There's only some small amount.
There were a couple of thousand.
Oh my gosh, never mind. Wrong.
But they were selling for a couple of hundred. No, that's new. That's now. Because
So they're like
it's
in
such
scarcity.
a rare book, like
Yeah.
the Mayan codices or something. But
When we have two sitting in this room, that's $400 worth of this book sitting in this room right now. We could run away rich from selling your book right now.
You can't. I swore I would never make a penny on it, but
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want to.
Well, I want to read some of your writing voice. You have such a fantastic writing voice. I mean, I'll let people hear it. I'll just let
you're
people hear
sweet
it.
to say that.
It's so fun to read. Let me read a little bit from the intro to kind of introduce people to what this book is about. This is from page I. It says, "We debated the use of Cumberland Avenue in the title, but stuck with it. It's the wellspring of good stuff. Dear old, noxious, noisome Cumberland, still resonating with its musical past. Musical scenes have always ebbed and flowed in Knoxville, and we can't count out the possibility of the strip finding a grace note in the future. Cumberland Avenue undoubtedly being where the first musical lungfish crawled up from the Holston and made its way through the beer bottles and stolen car hulks of the oily mudflats and evolved into a Kaz Walker-faced lemur that found a musical femur and flung it high into the air where it tumbled end over end, landing on the old Kingston Road where General Kershaw's Carolina boys would make a feint towards Fort Loudoun's vulnerable southwest side of the 1863. Let me reset brain. Killing Union General Sanders in the process and forever changing the local map, where many a native psalmist would sip moonshine from Wallace Stevens' jar." This is an ode to the Cumberland Avenue Strip, isn't it?
I'm very pleased that particular passage caught your eye, because I don't think many people have ever tried to rhyme lemur and femur.
Well, so tell me about this book. So it goes 1960, 1970, 1980, 1990, and then a look at jazz. I'm looking to figure out, when was the heyday of Cumberland Avenue? I'd love to get your perspective on like when different scenes were peaking in these different decades. Can you describe? I mean, can you put this big picture?
I bet that people of different sub-generations, people that are like 10-year differences in age, like we were talking about, I came up really in the 70s. Mm-hmm. And then the punk crowd came along in the 80s. I think each one of these generations, sub-generation, 10-year generations, let's say, would say that it was the peak was when they were doing it. Mm-hmm. But I think the consensus as far as the man/woman hours going into creating music has to be the 80s. I mean, it just keeps coming back to the 80s.
I do hear a lot about the 80s.
That's when punk hit, for one thing, and new wave, and it just re-energized everybody's music. And the World's Fair hits, and that brings the whole world into the picture. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's just this massive infusion of adrenaline. Mm-hmm. And for that summer, this was kind of the navel of the universe.
The navel of the universe. Whoa.
And there was a lot of lint in that navel.
Being the World's Fair in culture is the lint in that equation.
Very yeasty.
Yeasty. We had a yeasty time. Well, I kind of want to talk about the actual layout of the strip. We've done all these stories about development. Everyone's always talking about development at UT and all the apartments coming in and the selling out potentially. I'm not going to say that. I didn't say that. Can you tell me about, on the strip, what places were there that really, really pushed live music and gave people these opportunities to perform and go to shows? What are some of those venues that stick out to you?
Well, they're all gone, of course, but Vic and Bill's Deli, that was the
Deli
nerve center of the punk scene. Of course, there were several clubs on either side of the strip, but Vic and Bill's has to be the red telephone. That doesn't make any sense.
The red telephone, no.
It's where Khrushchev is calling Kennedy. The Long Branch Saloon, both locations, I would have to say, were huge.
Was that country, as it sounds?
No. Country, and then making the transition over to punk. And I mean, Alice's Restaurant was the name of a club that was on the south side. Pickle U Pub, University Club, China King was a Chinese restaurant that had a stage, and some of the guys played there. There were really more clubs on the campus side of the strip than on the Fort Sanders side. But the Hawkeyes was another place on the Fort Sanders side that had lots of clubs playing. Lots of bands playing.
Sorry, Daniel and I are having a fight over which camera to go on. I have a picture of Hawkeyes in the book right here. There it is. I found it.
We don't need to add it in post.
There's some pictures in this book. If you can ever get your hands on a copy, there's pictures of some of these scenes, and it looks the way that I would expect. I mean, look at this picture. This is, I'm gonna do the same camera. Ready? This is for people who are listening. It's a picture of 4 guys on a stage against a white wall, and one of them's shirtless, and the other guy's just wearing shirts and jeans and looking normal, and it just looks like people learning how to perform and being weird, being experimental.
A lot of it was learning on stage. Yeah. I mean, I played bass in a reggae band, and I doubt I'm sure there were people that thought that guy is just all thumbs. But once you get the dread skank in, you can't do anything wrong. So I really enjoyed the brief period that I played in a band, and you get to learn, you get to make mistakes because there's only 8 people out there. So there were a couple of clubs downtown that were real instrumental. The Market Square is worth mentioning because there was Cityside Cafe.
Never heard of
there
any
was
of these
a
places.
club. They're all gone. I mean, the Preservation Pub, the Wests have really re-energized the Market Square area for the clubs because they've got several clubs under one roof. But that was where there was a dinky little dive called the Snake Snatch. And that was a huge incubator of punk sounds, and I mean, we played there. My group was called Cheap Shoes.
Cheap Shoes.
We thought it was funny at the time, but
I'm with it.
It was
Cheap Shoes
kind of a downbeat, down at the heels, film noir kind of affect. But yet we played reggae-oid kind of music.
In your Cheap Shoes.
But the Hatch was the name of that club, where the Pres Pub is now, and Snake Snatch came later. There's different generations. These clubs kind of morph in and out of existence, and I don't know if there's anything like that now.
I don't know.
Except the Pres Pub and the various incarnations of the associated clubs there that the Wests have.
It's a bit what this episode is. It's a little bit about. I'm not trying to make a particular point, but a point that seems to be true is that there's a bit of a lack for incubator spaces. There's of course the Pilot Light. Birdhouses can be good.
Pilot Light, carrying the flag so bravely.
And so what's coming up next, right after this, is an episode, a conversation with somebody who started a series of house shows. It's not on campus, it's near campus, but it's somebody who knows a lot of UT students and a lot of UT bands play there. That is a no barrier to entry, come on, just practice, play for the first time on stage, everybody coming free, there's 10 people, there's 50 people, whatever. It's one of those incubator spaces.
That's great.
And it seems like it's a necessary thing for all this creative energy to go towards it.
The creativity is there.
Yeah.
It just it'll find its way somehow. It might be in ways we haven't even thought of yet.
Yeah.
The creativity is not going to go away. So I'm curious to see how it shapes up in the future.
We'll see. It doesn't go away. That's true. And I want to read a final paragraph here from the book you wrote that kind of says that. You ready? It says, there's a Walgreen at 18th and Cumberland instead of the Vol Market, and a bank branch a block west where once upon a time was a yellow brick Long Branch. 2 high-end snack bars, Panera and PW3, can join where England Sound once cornered Cumberland and Mountcastle. Around back, a mural of unknown hippie-ish origin faces a scrubby, littered alley, recalling Tom Walker's mural of dancing instruments on the west wall of England Studio. Nearby, the Old College Inn persists, 1 or 2 or 3 more bars and eateries to survive the decades more or less intact. The OCI gentrified from its origins as Brownies, where Met and beans were a cheap student meal rather than a nostalgic novelty. Knoxville, never cool, but what a source of cool. Jack Renfro. Wonderful.
Well, that's nice.
It's nice.
You're the only person that's ever picked that intro and outro to
Yay.
make me feel good.
Well, it's beautifully written. If you ever can find a copy, grab it and hold on to it tightly and take care of it.
The price can only go up.
It can only go up from here. Jack, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and
go
rock
make more sweet
on.
Potatoes. Coming back, we will talk with Salem about this new house show series that's giving people a place to be artistic. Welcome back. We are here and we are talking about some hip young things this time around. And I'm joined by a very hip person, Salem. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. Do you want to introduce yourself to us?
Sure. I'm Salem Walker. I'm 23. My pronouns are they, them. I've been doing event planning and hosting a venue space for about a good year and a half now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's what we're here to talk about. Also, Matt, sitting in the corner. Hello, Matt. Good wave. Hello. we are talking about the event space you host, the Commune Knoxville. This started popping up on my feed, and the flyers were just so cool. The whole thing is just like screams coolness, and that's kind of what I want to talk about is what it's bringing to Knoxville. Can you first tell me about what the Commune is?
So the Commune started as just a joke between me and my roommate. We were hosting a few parties and events, and then someone made the joke about the John Sevier Trap House, and we were like, that is not what we want here.
What is that? Wait, what is that?
Yeah, no, this is not a trap house. This is very much community love, art, music. So then we were immediately like, okay, we have to rebrand. We're the Commune. And then I immediately was just like, okay, we have to start having events now. And then, but it's just an event space where people can be themselves openly, not have to worry about being judged by how like they present themselves. I mean, I'm weird, so I'm not. Yeah, but it's just a free space for people to just exist together and appreciate art together.
Yeah, and it seems like the shows are for people of all sorts of ages. There is a bit of a focus on like college students coming. Is that true?
There's no music scene at UTK. Now, like there is one, but like barely. There's Mike, but I feel like they only do a few events a year. So
you're looking for like a regular place to go to.
Yeah. I wanted people like me to have somewhere to go that wasn't just the Pilot Light and Mill and Mine.
Yeah. What kind of bands are playing at the Commune, and how frequently are they playing?
We try to do a show every other Friday. For the past 2 months, I've had bands reach out to me to want to do shows, so we've done shows a little more frequently. Like we did a Wednesday show, which was Grouch Fest, and then we also did like for 3 or 4 weeks we did a show every weekend. But it's all different types of artists. If you want to come and perform, I'm more than likely going to say yes. Yeah. It's just we've had hyperpop, which is me, but we've had some rap, we've had some psychedelic rock, we've had some jazz vibes, we've had some bedroom pop, we've had some like folk and country bluegrass. We've had some like freestyle acoustic vibes. Yeah, cool. Some jam sessions. That's
awesome. And when did this start? When did you start doing shows?
The first show I want to say was September 8th of last year of 2025.
So this is a consistent house show series. It really is.
Yeah.
That's awesome that you're bringing a live music option to Knoxville and the UT crowd.
All of our shows are free. And so unless it's like a rave or it's a show during the week, all of our events are free because I wanted it to be so just available.
Approachable, accessible.
Yeah, but like with that, we don't pay any of the bands, so all of the bands that come and play are very like just for the music, but also that means that none of the bands have to play or have to pay to play there. Whereas some places you have to pay like a $50 deposit for your band to play there or whatever. Whereas if you just DM me, then like more than likely you're going to play there. So I feel like I'm trying to be super available for people that are just like, me and my friends just started this band a month ago. We want to like try it out. Come try it out at the Commune.
It's an incubator space. Yeah. It seems like you've found a niche that people were looking for, a place to go for trying out live music, experiencing live music for free in its rough shape. Can you talk about like now that you've found this thing that's working, what your plans are to do with it? What do you plan to do with this community?
I just want this to be a safe space at the end of the day. And we're my friend just bought a property in Nashville for us to start doing shows over there, which will be really cool to expand into the Nashville music scene.
Yeah.
But that's way later. Not way later, but like later in the fall. But I don't know. I just want this to be a commune.
Yeah. A commune.
Just that, yeah.
Yeah. And summer's coming up, but you've told me that you're not stopping shows and activities in the summertime.
Well, no.
No. Do you want to tell me about some of the stuff you guys have planned coming up?
So this weekend we have Peace Out Festival from starting Friday at noon. People can come and like set up their tents and park and hang out and vibe. Music will end that night at, I want to say, 4 a.m. And then the next day, Saturday, music will start at 10 a.m., end at 6 a.m., and then Sunday, music will start at 10 a.m. and end at 9 a.m. And then the commune is taking a very much needed break to go to a Burning Man sanctioned festival, Bonnaroo, and then we will be back on June 20th to do our Pride Festival, which will be all queer artists, DJs, and drag queens. And then we will be disappearing again, and then starting back, I think, July 10th.
Okay. And do you intend to keep doing these reoccurring shows next semester?
Oh, hell yeah. I plan on doing this hopefully until I die. I would love to like keep hosting shows and stuff. It makes me so happy to like bring people together. I don't know if it's just because I'm a control freak and I like to have events like planned by me, but to have like so many people come together is just like, I don't know. It makes me so happy that I don't ever want to dream of stop doing this.
Well, in just doing this experience of organizing in the commune and all of these artists coming in, what have you seen about like the creative culture at UTK and just like what people are looking for and craving there?
I think people just really want things to do that are artistic. There's so many like artistic and like fashionable people at UTK, but I feel like they don't really have the space to like express that in. And so I feel like with these shows, it gives people like I don't know. I've had people like come to me and be like, "Oh, are you going to that show at the commune?" And I'm like, "Honey, yes." So like, I don't know. When I walk around like flow starring on campus, because I do that a lot, I'll like walk around. Cool. But yeah, when I'm there, I'll like try to go and talk to people that I think look cool, and I'm like, "You look like you're craving like a show or something. You should come."
I have the answer.
Yeah, but I feel like people are just like craving more spaces to be artistic and more spaces to be themselves. I feel like on campus you have so many rules and limitations that you can't go through. I feel like being in the city you have so many rules and limitations that you can't move around or do things with. Whereas like, I don't know, I feel like our space is really open to new things. Yeah. Whereas I feel like that's what's missing. I feel like we need more creative spaces in Knoxville really bad. Yeah.
Place to experiment.
Yeah. People need a place to like pick up a paintbrush, pick up a microphone, pick up a instrument, do whatever.
Well, thank you for what I'm sure is a lot of hours of unpaid labor to build this thing.
Oh, yes. I do not get paid a single dime.
I'm sure you don't. Well, I'm appreciative of it. I think it's added a lot of value to Knoxville from what I can tell.
Thank you.
We will be right back after a break. Thank you for watching. That festival at the commune is this weekend. So if you're looking to check out some young, hip music scene, that's the place. There's going to be dozens of artists playing into the wee hours. You can camp out, hang out. You can always send me story pitches if you have some ideas for music stories I should do at jtaylor9@WBIR.com. Until then, we'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode of the Scruffy City Beat. Thank you for listening.